So let's come up a little bit further in the network. So clients in an infrastructure basic service set will communicate with an access point, and the access point is the device that gives me connectivity to the wired network, either my corporate network or the internet. Now there are different types of access points that you can buy. You can get them quite cheap for the home, $20 to $40 I've seen them as cheap as, and perhaps that would just be a single radio, might even be 802.11n, but normally doesn't support the really high data rates. Normally just has a couple of antennas. In a business environment, so at home I run my small business office, and so I want a business grade access point, and so I forked out and spent about $150 and have an access point which has a lot more features and capability on it. In larger settings, such as corporate environments, then you want to go to a higher quality one, and some of those can be somewhere between $600 and up, depending again on the features and capabilities on it. Some of the high-end Cisco products can be almost close to $1,000, but they provide advanced features like the ability to sniff the air and detect interference, look for rogue access points, etc. So again, depending on the features that you want on your access point, you will pay more. But in a business setting, you really want to take a more advanced access point because you want it to be able to operate perhaps in a lightweight mode versus an autonomous mode, and we're going to talk more about the differences of modes of operation a little bit later on. The other type of access point, of course, is an outdoor access point. And so here in this picture is a business grade access point from Cisco. It's got internal antennas and is not housed in an environment that could be placed outside. And so this is an internal access point. If you were deploying outside, then you would want a housing that is robust and can protect you against things like rain and fog, etc. And so you can get external access points which are appropriately housed. This access point also has internal antennas, and this works well if I'm deploying it in a wide area where I don't really have a very difficult RF environment. I'm not trying to do corners and wall coverage, etc. There are some environments, let's say I'm trying to get coverage in a corner, that I might say, okay, well, let me use external antennas so I can get more gain on my antenna in specific directions. And so then you'd buy an access point with external antennas. There are lots of manufacturers of access points. Access points, you always want to look to make sure they're Wi-Fi Alliance certified so that you can make sure that your client and your access points can communicate. In my lab, I have a couple of access points which I got shipped to me from Germany which aren't certified, and the reason they're not certified is I wanted to get in and particularly tweak a few factors and features which you can't always do on a certified product. And so in a lab environment it's not so bad to do that, but in a commercial environment you really want to make sure those are Wi-Fi Alliance certified.